Hello, friends. How are you doing? I'm here with Eric Kane from Elf Learning. How you doing, Eric?
Doing all right, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining me today on this podcast.
Good.
Eric is a school owner. He's a teacher. He's an educational YouTuber and an independent publisher at Elf Learning, and a nice guy. Can I add that?
Thanks for that.
Sure. How you doing today?
Doing all right. Doing all right. I had a meeting with my accountant this morning, so that's always fun.
Oh boy, that sounds like fun. So, Eric, I've known Eric for many years. We go
Yeah,
way back. I don't know,
yeah.
maybe 10 years or so
About
when
10
we
years,
first
maybe.
met.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And Eric is also making YouTube videos, very great YouTube videos. They're very popular. You've maybe seen some, probably have actually, if you're in the children's education, English teaching. So, Eric, do you want to tell us a little bit about the concept behind your YouTube channel, maybe how you got started a little bit?
Yeah. It's a little bit. I kind of fell into it just a little bit. Back in I think 2007, I bought my first Mac computer, and it came with a software, like it's a Keynote software, and I realized you could make simple animations with it. And I'm like, that's pretty cool, you know. I'm like, how could I use this? And I've been looking for a way to get my students some input outside of the classroom, and I said, well, this would be an easy way to do it. So, working with one of the teachers we had at the time, Lenny, shout out to Lenny Straight, um, we put together some images, and then we put them on the slides, and then we bought like a cheap USB microphone, and we started making videos that we would send to our students, and kind of took off from there.
Very cool. And what was like one of your first videos, YouTube videos? Do you remember?
The video I remember that kind of put us on the map was a body parts video. It was 24 vocabulary words, and we put it out there, and it was just me saying arms, arms. And I got an email from YouTube after a few days saying, your video is very popular, and I'm like, oh, okay. Would you like to, be a kind of a YouTuber, basically type of male? I'm like, oh, sure. I had no idea what they were talking about, but I went with it. So, and then it was fun. We got good feedback from parents that really helped the school, improvements in the classroom with our students knowing vocab. So we didn't have to spend as much time teaching the nuts and bolts, and we could focus more on communication. So it was effective for us in the school as well.
Right, and we talked about this a little bit before that you have a homework program or something like that that
Yeah.
involves your videos. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so it's the first 6 years that the students at our school. We have a little, we call it a class book. It's attendance sheet and a video watch list, and then it has all of like the core vocab and phrases and patterns that we expose the kids to during a certain period of time. And so we have on our website, we have links to monthly type of homework. And currently they're playlists, so there's about 5 or 6 videos, maybe 10, 13 minutes long total. And the kids, each time they watch that playlist, they check it off. And we've been turning those into single episodes recently. We're a bit backlogged right now, but the goal is to eventually have individual, like one video for each month that the kids can
Hmm,
watch, almost like a children's TV show.
that's
But
cool.
yeah, so that's how we use them in the school.
So, for teachers and parents out there listening to this and possibly watching this, is are those playlists open to the public? Like,
Yeah.
can they find them and watch them as well?
Yeah, you can go to it's elflearning.jp website, and there's a tab at the top that says homework. So you
Okay.
click on that, and everything is separated by level. The lowest level is probably for kids who are 3 years old, roughly 3 to 4 years old, and then each level you go up, we kind of assume it's another year older. But really, it doesn't. You can watch them at any order, I suppose.
Okay, cool. So elflearning.jp. And by the way, I don't know if we've said it yet.
Yeah.
What does elf mean?
That's a good question. Do you want to guess, or do you know?
Well, I think I know, but
ELF actually is an acronym, and E is not English. It means everyone loves fun learning. So the idea was when we were thinking of a name back in 2009, we're like, well, what is it that we really want to highlight? And that was the difference between learning and studying.
Mm,
And if we enjoy the process of learning, right? Everyone loves studying, maybe not so much, but everyone loves learning something new, right?
right, right.
And so that's kind of the essence behind the name.
Cool. I like it. So it has nothing to do with the Santa's helper.
No, there's no elf logos anywhere. Little elves in pointy shoes, right?
Something else I want to ask you is I know you have some really nice books that you've created.
Yeah,
Can you tell me a little bit about those and tell the audience about your books?
yeah. Our primary series is called Think, Read, Write, and it's a phonics-based vocabulary book, workbook combo with a lot of support, flashcards, and audio and YouTube videos, and they're all free and accessible. But it's primarily designed to build a very flexible vocabulary base so that kids who are learning in an EFL environment, they're learning nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions from the very beginning, while also learning phonics, developing phonemic awareness, word agreement, different things like that. So that's a 4-level series, and then from that series we have 2 collections of readers. They're called TRW Readers 1 and 2. And there's 22 stories.
Oh, wow.
Kind of funny, silly, very elfy, I guess we call it around here. Kind of an adjective. We have 2 activity books that go along with books 1 and books 2, and then we have a notebook series actually. So we have 4 notebooks, starting with quite wide lines, and then gradually getting smaller. So as the children develop more writing fluency, they're able to move up a level. Actually, I have them here, but I don't know if people can see them. But yeah,
Yeah, why don't you show it if you
yeah.
if you have it because some of this might get on
Yeah.
a video platform.
Well, there we go. Well,
Yes.
these are the 4 notebooks. These are yeah,
Oh, nice.
these have been popular with kids, and so they get excited about going from kind of the wide lines here, and each time they get just a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. And then the last one finally, so you can see all the 4 of them are here. You can see basically what size the print might be.
Oh, okay, nice. And then are those blank inside or they have
Yeah.
vocabulary words that they're copying?
They're just so I'll take out the second the blue one here. So it's just
Okay.
simple notebooks. The book 1 actually has the alphabet still at the bottom, along with indicators that the letters are, you know, where they fit on the 4 lines of English. So
Oh, nice.
B
Okay.
would indicate that it's a higher zone and stuff. And the inside of each book has a guide, like a stroke order guide for.
Nice.
So yeah.
So it's kind of a complete reading and writing system for young English learners.
Yeah, I mean it's designed mainly for for EFLs, maybe ESL learners who, when the teacher wants to bring the kids from learning to read to reading to learn, so they want to get them up to that level where they're able to read and learn on their own. That's pretty much the goal of the course.
And is it like one book per year kind of thing? Like it takes a student, I mean, I guess it depends on how often they have classes and stuff.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And so generally speaking, there's in Japan where we are both based, the typical type of tutorial school, or eikaiwa as they call it here, would be 40, low 40s, mid 40s number of lessons per year.
Right.
And so the main text can easily be finished within that time period. And then, the readers are used by teachers in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of acting and drama, and there's a lot of prosody buildup, learning how to say something. And so that's a lot of fun. So it depends how much you kind of stretch that out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, where can people learn more or find these books or buy these books? Do they ship internationally or can you get them?
Yeah, they do. They're available in Korea and Japan currently. They can be shipped, easily. But overseas, they do over. My distributor is EnglishBooks.jp. They're our
Okay.
largest distributors in Japan for English language materials, and they will ship overseas. But I think you'd have to talk with them, and it's depending on shipping, it may be a little pricey. But yeah, I do know other people from other countries who've ordered them and used them. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, because the listeners to this podcast are spread all over the world, so they might be.
hi world.
Hello, world. Thank you for joining us. Okay,
Hope you're in
awesome.
good shape,
Uh,
yeah.
most people are listening, so
Okay.
so why don't do you want to talk a little bit? Do you have anything else you want to add about the YouTube or the books or anything like that?
No, not really. I'm just,
Okay.
chilling, having a good time with my friend Matt. So,
All right, cool. Me too. So why don't we talk a little bit about our collaboration?
oh, there we go. That's one of my favorite words over the last couple of years. Ever since the pandemic hit and we were isolated from one another and got to, know everyone online
Right.
even more. Yeah. So, should I just tell the story? Do you want to start it out?
Well, I guess so. Sure. I mean, so Eric and I and a bunch of people had not seen each other for, I don't know, is it 4 or 5 years because of the
Yeah, at least.
pandemic?
Pandemic and just other things. Yeah.
Yeah, and just other things. And we met up at a English teacher expo in Japan,
Yep.
close to where I live. And I don't even remember if that's when the collaboration idea started. I don't think so. I think we just kind of reacquainted
Yeah.
with each other at that point.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna go up to near where Eric lives in outside of Osaka, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I said, hey, maybe I can come by and visit you because I love traveling and learning about different people's schools and how they teach and the environment they teach in. And Eric had this idea of like, hey, as long as you're coming up here, why don't we maybe work on something together? That's kind
Yeah.
of how it started. You want to take it from there?
Sure, sure. So I had a good friend of mine, Kenny King from Maple Leaf Learning, often talks about when he has a song in his head and he just has to get it out. And he can't relax until he gets it out of his head. It was kind of like that. So I had thought about, I'd wanted to do kind of a silly dance song to encourage kids just to kind of be silly and have a good time. It's good for classroom management. If you just need to get the kids, the antsy kids or whatever, just get a little energy out before you sit down, do something a little, more focused or quieter on the floor by the tables or chairs.
Right.
And so I had this idea in my head, and I kind of brought it to Matt, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." And so I talked with my buddy David Freeman. He's a musician out of Nagoya. He's originally from England. Brilliant musician. And I said, "Hey, David, I'm thinking of the song." And I told him, "This is what I hear. I hear like the '70s, kind of funk, really a lot of fun." And he sent me a couple like backing tracks, and I sent those along to Matt, and I typed up some lyrics, thoughts, and ideas. And what do you think? And Matt said,
I liked it. I loved it. It was great. The backing track was amazing. Yeah, and then I just did a little bit of a rearranging the track, and then I put some vocals down, just kind of as a test, actually. And Eric was like, "That's great. Let's go with that." And
"Yeah,
that's kind of how the song came along. And then Eric added vocals to it, and we made a video. Well, we're working on a video.
working on a video
It's in the works.
in the works."
Yeah. So, should we play a little bit of the song?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll introduce the song real quick. So it's called "The
Okay.
Silly Dance," and it's just about having a good time. It could be in the classroom or anytime you need a bit of a break. There's a little bit of like some movements that go along with it. So yeah, let's have a listen.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the. Okay, here we go.
Are you ready?
To do the silly dance?
Let's practice.
Make a silly face.
Make a silly pose.
Everybody dance to the silly dance. 1, 2, 3, go! Everybody dance to the silly dance. Everybody dance to the silly dance. And stop. Step to the front. Step to the front. Step to the back. Step to the back. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Now clap, clap, clap. Now clap, clap, clap. Step to the front. Step to the front. Step to the back. Step to the back. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Now clap, clap, clap. Now clap, clap, clap. Everybody dance. Everybody dance. Do the silly dance. Silly dance. 1, 2, 3, go. Everybody dance. Everybody dance. Do the silly dance. Silly dance. Everybody dance.
Hey, you cut me out. I was singing.
Sorry, was that? I didn't know. I didn't want to put. People have to wait for the full
Okay.
video.
This has been a lot of fun though, and working from a distance, and collaboration is fun. Working with a musician in one place, and you and I in different places as well, but coming together, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's been great. And the cool thing for me, because I don't do a lot of collaborations, but when I have done collaborations, I usually do part of it in person. You know, like I did some stuff with the Learning Station in Florida, and I got to go to their studio, and we filmed some videos there. And it's just having the real life interaction to me was really what makes a collaboration a lot of fun and great. And then, of course, nowadays with modern technology, we can follow up and continue to work separately, but occasionally get together. I think is really awesome.
Yeah, that's why it was fun when you came up to here to the studio, and we were first time working together, and we set up lights in the camera, and we had to get used to things, but then as the day went on, it became more enjoyable because we were starting to feel the vibe a little bit and stuff. We were tired by the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
It was a long day, but yeah, it was fun. It was really enjoyable. So.
Yeah, I remember wanting to stop, and Eric was like, "Come on, one more take," and I was like, "Okay." So yeah, it was great. I appreciate you getting the ball rolling on this. It's been super fun.
With the pandemic happening, and just life can be challenging sometimes, and I went through a few struggles, like I think everyone has at different times, and the one thing I found that has really helped me is to cooperate and collaborate with others, work together with other people, because at the end of the day we can do more together than we can alone. And
Yeah.
that's this song is a good example of that. I mean, one of us could have done it, but working with a different musician and two singers, and hopefully for the video we get a few more people involved. I find that very enjoyable. And I think people like being a part of something very positive, and the world needs that now. And so if we can be even a little part of source of positivity for people, that's great, right?
It's a wonderful privilege, yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's a good way to put it, as a privilege too. Yeah.
Just to be able to do what we do, and keep doing what we do. I'm thankful, everybody listening. Thank
Every
you.
day. Yeah. Every day. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so if I guess we'll wrap up here pretty soon. Anything else you want to add, or if people want to find you or get in touch with you? Go to
Yeah, I
your
think
website.
the YouTube channel is Elf Kids. It's just ELF Kids. It's on YouTube. And if you want to go to our website, it's elflearning.jp. And there's lots of free stuff there. There's flashcards and music, song downloads and stuff like that. You can find us on Spotify and iTunes or Apple Music and different places, Amazon. So if you just type in Elf Learning, whatever platform you're using, you might bump into us. So please do so.
Cool. And yeah, and I'll definitely put links to all of that
Okay.
in the show notes as well. So if people want to just click through the link. So Eric, I really appreciate you taking the time. This has been a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
maybe once the Silly Dance comes out, we
Yeah.
can get back on here and talk a little bit more about it and what's going on with the project if you have time and you'd like to
That'd
do
be
it again.
great. That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Eric.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.